What's happening? I'm Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records, and I bring to you my daily views, NBA Playoff Edition. We are focused on Game 4 between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Lizards. I'm not going to call them Raptors because Raptors are vicious, they're ferocious, and they have a lot of fight in them. And these Toronto players on this team have none of those qualities. The Cavs have finished the sweep of Toronto. They are clearly in their head. They had been that way for a couple of years, regardless of the new players on the team. As long as LeBron James, King James to them, is on the team, they will continue to get dominated year after year after year. I am a lifelong Laker. And there are some fans out there of the Lakers who want to get LeBron James on the team. There are some really deep fans of the Los Angeles Lakers who really don't want LeBron on the team because usually you have to gut the roster and shift everything over. And we got a lot of young guys who really need to develop. We think they can develop something great. So we don't want that total upheaval of what we got cooking over there. But the biggest fans, the loudest fans of the idea of LeBron James going to the Los Angeles Lakers is everybody on the Toronto team. I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto would chunk them an extra $10 million on the deal just for him to sign over there in LA and leave the Eastern Conference alone. I don't want people to get fired, but I don't know what else to do in this situation, especially when they're minorities working hard. I know it's harder for them, especially to get into those positions, but Dwayne Casey has got to go. He finally smartened up. I guess he's been listening to my broadcast. Finally has Serge Ibaka start the game. Okay, then you need to get Powell in the game. Like, who is Powell? The guy who's not been playing the first 3 games. Hadn't been playing at all. DNP coach's decision. Did not play. He's a young guy with some size and promise. So much promise that the Toronto organization, they signed him to a new 4-year deal after his rookie contract was set to expire. They loved what this guy was doing. Thought he was fantastic. Why would you go from $1 million a year to $10 million the next year just to not play this guy? Doesn't make any sense. Stupid decisions by people in the top of the organization. It trickles down. There's a trickle down. You make good decisions at the top, those trickle down as well. These guys are trash. He's starting CJ Miles. CJ Miles can't guard anybody. Only thing he's doing is fouling people as soon as they get by him. I said to start Powell. Start Powell. Have Valanciunas on the bench. At least they got that part right. Valanciunas came in off the bench. He was dominating them boys. But they couldn't recognize the advantages that they had. They didn't keep going to him. They were going to him. He was pounding them down low. Hit a couple of jumpers. Had a nice block on Kevin Love. Then they just went away from it. They started jacking up threes, especially Kyle Lowry. This guy can't do nothing. He can't penetrate. He can't get by anybody. The only thing he wants to do is come off screens and pull up for threes. That's all he wants to do. Like he's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson or something. Man, if you don't get up out of here, Kyle Lowry's getting paid $28 million this year. And in a closeout game, through 3 quarters, you've only got 7 shots. Like I said before, Demar Derozan, he wears those Kobe's. He idolized Kobe. Grew up in the Los Angeles area. But just because you wear the Kobe's don't mean you got that Mamba mentality. In a potential closeout game, you've only got 11 shots. Through 3 quarters? That's outrageous. You don't want to win. How in the hell is Valanciunas again leading the team in shots attempted? DeMar DeRozan, your all-star. Kyle Lowry, your all-star. These guys are getting like 10 shots, 7 shots a game. This guy Valanciunas is leading the team in shots attempted. Getting like 15 shots a game. It's ridiculous. The coaching is non-existent and terrible at best. Dwayne Casey needs to go. Not one time during the game did I see him over there yelling, fired up, trying to keep his team in the game. He was defeated. You could see it on the players on the team. They were defeated. Every time LeBron made a shot, every time somebody drove in, they fouled him. They had their heads down. Wasn't nobody clapping, talking about, come on, we can come back, we can do any of that. No one was diving on the floor, diving out of bounds. Nobody was doing anything. Nobody was even acting crazy, getting a technical. Do something. Show me that you care. They don't care. Them boys ready to go home. They were ready to go home. They were defeated in the mind. This had nothing to do with what happened on the court. They know management is trash. They know coaching is terrible at best. Them boys don't even want to play. They ready to go fishing. I don't care who I'm playing. I don't care how much they're destroying me. They could be dominating me every way, shape, form, or fashion. But you gonna know I was there. I'm gonna foul out. I'm gonna be exhausted. I'm gonna need an oxygen tank after the game. Because I'm giving everything that I got. I'm not trying to go home. I'm trying to earn this paycheck. I said you've got to work LeBron James on the defensive end. You've got to work this guy. Let him get 50, but you need to get 20. You got to take some shots. You can't let this guy rest. OG Anunoby, the rookie, God bless him, only had 3 shots through 3 quarters. LeBron James ain't burning up no energy. It's easy. It's a cakewalk for him. Why in the hell do you continue to leave Kyle Korver and Kevin Love open on the wings when LeBron James is at the top of the key? Just play him one-on-one. If he's going to kill you, he's going to kill you. But you can't let these guys wide open for threes. They're looking, got their heads on the swivel like they're going to come over and do something. Your double team ain't going to do nothing. All they're going to do is call foul. If they don't call foul, he's kicking it out to these guys wide open, and you're letting them be productive. He's doing whatever he want to do. To wrap this up, let me show you just how bad. He's like, oh, Iron Man, come on, man. You being a little bit harsh on the coach there, bros. And LeBron's a great player. You know, the Cavs a great team. They've been to the finals 3 years in a row. There is a guy on the Raptors team. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing his name right. It's Lucas Nogueira. He is a center, been in the league for 3 years for the Toronto Raptors. Towards the end of the second quarter, I believe Cleveland was up by about 7 points. Serge Ibaka commits a foul with about 2 minutes left in the quarter. Championship teams know you've got to close out quarters well if you want to win the game. Jonas Valanciunas was killing in that first quarter. He was killing. He came in off the bench, and this guy was getting buckets, doing his thing. So naturally, you think you're going to sit Serge Ibaka because you don't want him to pick up that third foul, at the end of the second half. You're going to bring in Valanciunas back, and everything's going to be good to go. Dwayne Casey and his non-coaching self, he decides to put in Lucas Nogueira. He's a center. Big, huge dude. I'm not going at him. It's not his fault. But this guy in 3 games, 2 games he did not play. The second game, he played 3 minutes. In 3 games, this guy has played a total of 3 minutes. Now, 22 minutes into the 4th game, you want to bring him back in instead of bringing in Valanciunas. Why would you do that? That is one of the dumbest moves I have ever seen in my entire life. In that quick 2-minute sequence, the Cavs ran off about 10 points. They saw this frozen newbie in the game. They're like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? And not to mention that they didn't even have Kyle Lowry running the point. They had Demar Derozan. He wasn't even killing it as a shooting guard during the series, let alone running point. They had this guy running point. What is Dwayne Casey thinking? So immediately they say, you know what? We're just going to leave Nogueira wide open. We're just going to double team off him and make him make decisions. And what did this non-point guard do? DeMar DeRozan passed him the ball. They trapped him. He passed the ball to him. And what did he do? He didn't want the ball. It was like a hot potato. He was like, get the ball out of my hand. Get the ball out of my hand. Oh, so then the time's running out. Then someone would get the ball with only a few seconds left. Bad shot. They run off, go down the court, get a bucket, come back down, do the same thing. This time he tried to pass somebody else. LeBron James tipped the ball out of bounds. Then he got the ball stolen from him. And then mercifully, they took him out the game like it was his fault. Then they brought Valanciunas in. Dwayne Casey needs to go. Dwayne Casey needs to go. They need to do something with Kyle Lowry. Maybe he can do better with the new coach. I don't know. He can't do any worse. But they need to figure out what to do with those 3 guys because they are not getting it done. The Cleveland Cavaliers totally annihilate the Toronto team Lizards and move on to a potential matchup with the Boston Celtics. Won't that be fun? If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time there's a brand new video. If you think they may enjoy the content, feel free to share this with your friends, your homies, your BFFs forever, your neighbors, your co-workers, your boss, and your fans and your followers. I'm Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records, and it's just how I see it. Be blessed and Godspeed. Feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Really and truly appreciate it. Leave all your interesting comments right down below, especially the ones where you disagree with everything that I just said. And then subscribe so you don't miss any of the newest and latest views.